have seen on social media me and Mr. DiBELLA going at it over the last few months and years. And it's all good fun, but what he does do is do a great job for his fighters. Welcome to Tevin Farmer to the team as well. Delighted to be working with Lou as well. And this fight was made, and he pushed and pushed and pushed for Sergey, and it was a tough deal to make. It took us some time because this is high stakes. This is the highest stakes. And, you know, when Danny came over to HBO, he's had a couple of good fights. Arias, of course, down at the Nassau Coliseum, and more recently against Sulecki at the Barclays Centre. But this one now is the defining moment in Danny Jacobs' career. They were what we call showcase fights. I already see him much lighter than he would when he normally starts camp. He knows that this is the defining moment of his career on October the 27th. He has one very, very tough fight. Before we go into the main event, we're going to talk about this great fight on the card for the WBO featherweight title, and I'm going to pass over to our co-promoter for the fight, a long-term family friend, great guy, delighted to be working on these. He's going to be showing me the ropes at the MSG. He's already told me how I've got to price the tickets, when I've got to start promoting, who's on the undercard. I don't even know if I'm going to turn up. So I'm going to pass over to our good friend, Lou DiBELLA, to introduce his fights. Thank you, Lou.
Shock of all shocks, Eddie and I did business together, which really isn't that much of a shock. And as he said, I go back with him since he was a wee lad in grammar school, literally. I've known his dad since my first days in this business 30 years ago. And I've said this before, I want to do business with every entity in boxing that allows the biggest opportunities for my fighters. And I'm thrilled that as an alumni of HBO, someone that's spent a number of years there, to be able to be involved in a fight of this excellence and this magnitude on HBO, because this is about as good as it gets. The young man to the right, I've known him since he's a kid. He's a tremendous athlete, a great fighter, a great champion, and as good a person or better person outside of the ring than he is inside of the ring. I mean, this guy is a profile in courage and a guy that constantly gives back and is an inspiration to so many people. If you've been able to defeat cancer, you're not afraid of any man. This guy over here to my left, Sergey Derevyanchenko, is a great fighter. One of the greatest amateur middleweights who's ever fought. 400 wins as an amateur. He was in the World Series of Boxing where he dominated. He's undefeated as a pro. And he's had to sit out periods of inactivity. And he hasn't made a lot of money as a pro for a lot of reasons, a lot of them having to do with the politics of the game. When you're as good as he is and you're from Ukraine and you're not delivering gazillions of dollars, you have to be orchestrated to a title opportunity. And that's what happened here. I want to acknowledge that. First of all, thank you, Peter, because you were steadfast in demanding this fight and wanting this fight, and that's one of the reasons it happened.